Hello, research class. I would like to talk to you today about your final paper, your evaluation plan, or like I like to say, it's actually a proposal. So a couple more details about this that came about through a discussion with one of your classmates is that this is hopefully a proposal that somebody, so in this instance me, but somebody in the future could pick up and say, I have a client that has similar issues. We're dealing with the same social problem and similar characteristics of this client. What do I do and how do I make sure it's working? Oh, I can read this proposal and know everything I need to do. So, how do you start this? The introduction will be probably your introduction from your lit review with some additional information. It is, what is this social issue and what do we do about it? What do we do about it specifically if the client is such? So we're going to use your classmate's example, which is generalized anxiety disorder. And this is an adult female client. And I don't need to go into more details about that, but that would be different than, let's say, a child or an elderly person experiencing dementia or a vet even. This client is not a vet. So then you go into all the other pieces of the research that we've done. So literally every assignment that we've done in this class, but of course you can't just plop them in. They have to flow as a proposal for how you would research, how you would treat, and then research this client to make sure that the treatment is working and meeting your goals. So one of those pieces that your classmate and I discussed was the goals, the actual goals, because those are spelled out a little bit differently in this final paper than they were throughout the course. So what I'd like you to consider is your logic model for these goals. In the logic model, you have inputs, right? What do you start with? What are all these things? One of those is the treatment modality. So for this generalized anxiety disorder, she is going to be using CBT. And she has all those measures. She has the Beck scale, which she's going to administer at the beginning. And anytime there's a change of course, so not on a regular basis, but for baseline, and then once that initial treatment is up, to see if she's changed the course of the big goal, which is to reduce or eliminate anxiety. Now so that was at the very end. That was outcomes long term. There are multiple goals in between there. And goals are different than activities. Activities are what do you do to reach your goals. The goals are what are you making better? So her particular client is not sleeping well. She apparently is getting to sleep, okay, so that's one aspect of sleep, but she's not staying asleep. So this is an immediate goal. You can't wait 20 weeks of CBT to make sure that the anxiety is reduced to a point that she's sleeping. She can't go 20 weeks without sleep. So this is a short-term goal is literally to improve her sleep, to stay asleep. So these might have some other activities that go into this that will cause her to improve her sleep if she tackles these. So she might actually have to do some research into those. So what does that look like? Does that look like altering her social media before sleep? Does it look like the CBT is going to tackle specifically her thoughts and perseveration over what she did during that day or what happened during that day? So those are short-term goals. Now, in the short term, of course, she'd like to reduce anxiety, but that's a little less tangible in the short term than in the long term. And of course, there's medium-term goals too. So as you go through this final paper, please try to blend everything together, but keep in mind, this is a guide. It's a proposal. You didn't finish the research with this client, but you have to change what you've already submitted and turn those into a cohesive piece of this is what's best for a client with this particular issue. Thank you. Make sure to email me if you have any questions, if you'd like to Zoom or talk on the phone to better address your particular questions. And please, please make sure that you really write a robust, comprehensive introduction and conclusion. You can't just put your stuff out there. You have to lead me to it. You have to paint the picture of what is best for this client. And ultimately, this is a research class. So the goal is research what's best for this client and this social issue, and research the client. How will you know that they got better? How will you know that what you are proposing is actually going to work? Thank you.